All right, so we got Trump warns China that, no, sorry, Trump warns Canada that China will eat them up.
Conditions.
Dog is fucking crying.
Brett?
David, thank you. Breaking tonight, President Trump's comment casting doubt on NATO's commitment to the U.S. if something happened is prompting some pushback tonight overseas. This comes as the American leader and his Canadian counterparts spar over the U.S. effort to take control of at least part of Greenland. Senior White House correspondent Peter.
Sweetie, can you let him out real quick?
What, spread around?
Yeah.
Ducey has details tonight live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. This is what people mean when they say that President Trump is creating a new world order. If a U.S. ally, even a close ally, has a problem with a U.S. foreign policy proposal, President Trump says he doesn't care, even when it's Canada.
We're going to build the Golden Dome.
But the president says Canada is against the Golden Dome being built over Greenland, even though the Golden Dome would protect Canada.
Of course they are. Of course Canada is against them being surrounded by missile systems.
Instead, they voted in favor of doing business with China, who will eat them up within the first year. That post follows a somewhat defiant response to recent Trump criticism of Canada from Prime Minister.
Hey, we got to be quiet. My mic picks up everything in the room. All right.
Mark Carney.
But Canada doesn't live because of the United States. Canada thrives because we are Canadian.
The commander-in-chief isn't just calling out Canada. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, also on notice.
And I know that we would have been there, or we would be there. You know, they'll say they sent some troops to Afghanistan or this or that. And they did. They stayed a little back, a little off the front lines.
Democratic critics scoff at the president's claim.
He knows better. Denmark sacrificed more people per capita in Afghanistan after 9/11 than we did.
Now that the dust has settled after arresting dictator Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, the State Department is talking about reports the White House next wants...
Holy shit, that's a lot of people.
Reports the White House next wants regime change in Cuba. Quote, "It is in our national security interests for Cuba, which is 90 miles away from our shores, to be competently run by a democratic government and refuse to host our adversaries' military and intelligence services." The most vexing foreign policy issue for this president in his second term, ending the war in Ukraine, which will require Russia to make concessions.
And they'll make concessions. Everybody's making concessions to get it done.
A White House official says today's
Good.
trilateral meeting...
Look, we got to look at our dollar. It's currently crashing. Right now we have the big three, China, Russia, and the U.S., and they're all posturing for war. And it's vital that we get the Golden Dome built as fastly as possible just for military defense purposes. And this is bipartisan. The Democrats would want the same thing. The Republicans clearly want that thing.
In Abu Dhabi between the United States, Ukraine, and Russia was productive. Conversations will continue tomorrow.
Anytime we meet, it's good.
And the reason the Golden Dome is so important is because we're going to put a missile defense system right between Canada, Russia, and China. So if any missiles are coming across, we can intercept them.
If you don't meet, nothing's going to happen.
President Trump says there have been times when Putin wanted a deal and there have been times when Zelensky didn't want a deal. Now he thinks that both men want to make a deal, and he has got Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner overseas trying to figure out what that's going to take. Brett.
Peter Ducey live on the North Lawn. Peter, thanks. Please join
Hannity here. Hey.
All right, so the whole video was about Trump warns Canada that China will eat them up. Canada completely relies on the U.S. For military defense. Most of Canada's defense budget... Bullet, sit. Knock it the fuck off. Most of Canada doesn't allocate a lot of money to their defense budget because they're bordering the U.S., so they mainly rely on us already.